Hello guys and welcome to Drills Builds, welcome to the channel and welcome to the new series. This is going to be the first episode in the series, and in this series we're going to be showing you how to make farms that are not only the best, most productive farms, but they're also going to be easy to make and not too cost effective. Now this is the iron farm we're going to be building today, and I'm not going to take credit for the design because it was based off of a design made by a YouTuber named Gnembon. Now Gnembon is a very smart guy when it comes to farms. I'm going to be chucking Gnembon's YouTube link in the description below, so make sure to go and check him out, and maximum respect to him. Thank you for this and all of the content you're putting out. And I also want to shout out Mumbo Jumbo because he's where I saw Gnembon's farm originally in Hermitcraft season 10. However, he also didn't do a step-by-step tutorial on how to build this farm, so that's where we're going today, guys. We're going to show you how to build this for yourself, so I'm going to stop yapping now and we're just going to get into the tutorial. Okay, so the footprint of this farm is a 16 by 16 grid. I'm going to start by going to the 5th and 6th block from one side of the grid, and I'm going to be placing down a double chest with a hopper. Now I'm going to be placing 5 double chests, but of course it is up to you. If you wanted to have more or if you wanted to have less, that is totally up to you. But just for obviously if you're going to AFK the iron farm, just bear in mind that you're going to need some storage for the chest to fill up, otherwise you're basically going to be losing iron. And then once we've got our 5 chests, we're going to want to put a hopper going downwards into this top chest. So we're going to come across, so it's 3 this way, there's going to be an extra 1 there, and then there's going to be 3 this way, which is effectively going to make this arrowhead shape you can see on the screen now. Next, we're going to build an 8 by 8 grid of slabs. These are slabs. They might look a little bit like blocks on the video because of the angle, but they are slabs, and we're going to build it 8 by 8 and just fill it in like so. And then we're going to use glass. You can use any type of glass, but I'm going to use black and purple just so you can see the different layers here. But I'm going to build up 4 layers, so a black, purple, black, and then another layer of purple. And then once we've done this, we're just going to top it off with another slab on top. Once we've done this, we're going to go inside and we're just going to put signs on top of every slab. And this is going to be to hold the lava, so the iron golems will be able to drop down, get burnt in the lava, and be directed towards the hoppers. Once we've done this, we're going to put a water bucket in the corner so it directs our iron golems over there. And then we're going to flood these 4 gates with lava. Now obviously if you're in survival mode, you probably want to do this from the top and not stand inside the lava, or it might end up pretty bad for you. Next, we're going to build up with a temporary block. We're going to come up 6 or 7 blocks, then we're going to place another slab on top here, and then another one on top of that, and then we're going to go around now and create a new perimeter. This is going to be a 12 by 12 perimeter, and then again we're going to fill this whole area of slabs in. Now make sure these are slabs. It's very important that they're slabs. And also make sure that it's the higher slab, not the bottom slab. But again, we're going to grab some glass and we're going to go around the outside like so. We're going to go all the way around. I am actually breaking out the corner pieces just because we don't really need them, but it's up to you if you want to leave them in. It doesn't make much difference. We're going to do 2 layers of glass. We're going to do 1 on the block above the slab, and then we're going to do another one on top of that. You can use any type of glass or other blocks that you want to use. I'm just using these ones in this tutorial, but you can replace them with other ones if you need to. Once we've done this, we're going to go into each corner and we're going to drop a water bucket in each corner, and this is going to flood all the way into the middle. And then once we are done, we're going to be left with this circular shape, and we're going to break this out, and that is this level done. So now we need to move up again. However, this time we don't need to go up fast. We're just going to come across with 2 glass blocks like that, and then we're going to place 2 slabs, and we're going to break the bottom slab and then get rid of the other temporary blocks as well. So next we're going to place these slabs, which we're going to put our beds on top of. It's very important that the beds are in this direction, so please make sure you do them like this. So we're going to place 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 bed, and then we're going to break the slabs that are under the beds. And then again, we're going to repeat this for all 4 corners. Right, next we're going to need to add string and carpet on top of each bed. So every single square that the bed takes up needs to be covered in string. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to place carpets on top of those strings. So exactly like this, and then we're just going to again repeat that process for all 4 corners. Okay, now that's all done. Now we need to add some chains in to stop our villagers from falling out. So we're going to come up 2 blocks of glass like this, and we're going to add our chains onto each side. And then once that's done, of course, we're going to repeat the process on all 4. Okay, so next we need to create a chamber for our pillager. So we're going to go into the middle and we're going to come up 5 blocks, and then we're going to come across 1. Of course, these are temporary blocks again, so don't worry, you can use whatever you like. And then we're going to place slabs in the following order. And then underneath, we're going to place soul sand on the 4 corners. And then we're going to build up 3 slabs. We're going to break those 2, and we're just going to copy the pattern that's below as above. Now we need to put water in one of these corners, and that's basically going to cause our villagers to bounce up and down, which is going to keep tricking the villagers into seeing him and unseeing him, which is beneficial for the farm to work. Now we're going to put 4 fences in like this, and that is basically going to be the chamber. Now this is the farm complete, except for we need to get our pillager up here, and we're going to need to get our 12 villagers up here. Before we take our pillager up there, we need to get him to lose his crossbow. Now if I was in survival, the pillager would shoot at me, however I'm not, so he's not going to. So I'm going to be showing you, but I'm going to be using a villager in place of where you would be. So if I was standing here in survival, not on top of him, down here, then he would be shooting at the wood. However, I'm not and he's not, so I'm going to put a villager in here, and he's basically going to fire arrows at him, and eventually, I think it's around 250 shots later, he should lose his crossbow. Now, I've sped this up. I've turned the tick speed up to 2000 because I didn't want to stand here forever for the tutorial's sake. So you can see eventually, once he has finished firing all his arrows and the durability has run out on his crossbow, he will lose it. So therefore he will be harmless. However, he will still be classed as a threat to our villagers. So I'm just going to get rid of this villager now. And of course we need to get this guy up the top and into his little chamber. So we need to get Buddy in a minecart, and it would be a good time to give him a name tag as well, because we don't want him despawning. Now we're going to want to build a whole system of minecarts, powered rails, etc., just to get him up here and into there. Now if you put some fences like this, it will make it a lot easier to get him into that middle slot so he doesn't fall down the outside and end up stuck in the wrong place. That can be a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, effectively you're just going to want to build a whole staircase ready for your minecart to take him up to the top. So once that's all complete, we're just going to give him a little push, and as you can see, he's just going to go all the way up to the top and into his little slot. We're going to come up, we're going to break the minecart. Better just block him in to make sure he can't get out there. Just going to give him a little shove. Remember, he hasn't got a weapon. He's going to fall in there. Going to break the temporary fence. And then I'm going to start removing this track. Now, obviously, we want to use this track to get our villagers up, so don't remove it all. I'm just going to remove it down to the level where our villager slots are. And then I'm going to start building something that's going to basically do the same, but just for the villager into that little hole there. Now, we're going to want 3 villagers per hole. It's important that you get 3 because they won't trigger an iron golem unless there's 3 of them. It's very complicated mathematical. However, like I said, if you go and watch Gnembon's channel, if you want to learn more about that, then he will dive a lot deeper into the physics and the science and why it happens. Now, as you can see, as soon as we've got 3 villagers, we're going to start spawning iron golems. So I'm obviously going to use villager eggs. Oh no, there's a baby. Bye baby. Nah, I'm obviously going to use villager eggs because I don't need to, I'm in creative, but you would use your track to get them all up and into position. But as you can see, our farm is now complete, and this is a pretty productive farm. If you go AFK here for a few hours or even overnight, you will find you come back to very full chests with iron. This does generate a lot of iron, and for how many villagers there are, it is the most efficient farm that I have managed to find. Gnembon actually has some better designs where they're a lot more complicated, there's a lot more villager spots, and that will produce more iron. However, it's going to be very resource heavy, and it also is going to take a lot longer to build and be a lot harder to build. Therefore, I have started with the most basic farm. If you would like to see me cover one of his bigger farms, I know he's got this is a 4-channel one, I know he's got a 20-channel one, so if you would like to see that, then please let me know in the comments. However, if this video has helped you, then please like and subscribe, drop a comment. I'm trying to build this channel up. I love Minecraft, even though I'm pretty terrible at it. I'm going to do my best to put out some really good content for you. Anyway, guys, this has been Drill's Build. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.